a quick recap of the EIDL grants, the latest rules, and the other SBA programs that may be relevant for you. Also, I'm going to share information on who's already applied for PPP loans and who is still waiting, and what the turnaround time so far has been. Finally, I'm going to talk about Isabel Guzman and why I'm optimistic that she will be a good thing for the EIDL grants, and this will mean that more people will get EIDL grants. Even if you didn't apply last year, I'm going to talk about that. Hey everyone, this is Ryder from Skip. I hope you're doing well. It's Thursday, January 21. I have a very quick video update for you. Again, important news on the EIDL grants, other funding programs, and why I'm optimistic about Biden's pick for the head of the SBA in terms of getting more EIDL grants to more people. Finally, hit subscribe because later today I'm going to do a separate video on rental assistance. There's $25 billion in rental assistance in the new bill. That's a lot of money. Many states have already started their programs. Even if you think you don't need it, you don't qualify, I'm going to talk about that and share with you because $25 billion, that's a lot in assistance. These are essentially rental grants that'll help cover past rent, future rent, and everything in between. So hit subscribe. I'm going to talk about that later. And tomorrow on our app, we're announcing a new feature for the EIDL grant tracker. So again, you can go to trackeidlgrant.com to get our free app. Of course, now you can see more information and see if you qualify. That's the big thing right now. I'll show you right here. The breaking news that I covered on Tuesday night was that the SBA releases information. I read through it. I said that applicants do not need to take any action at this time. The SBA will reach out to those who qualify in two phases. Number one, if you are in a low-income community and already received some funding, they'll reach out to you to see if you qualify to be topped up. So if you got 1K, you'll get 9K, 2K, 8K, 5K, another 5K. So that's who SBA is reaching out to first, according to the rules here. I'm not going to reread them. And then the SBA will reach out to those who applied for EIDL assistance but did not receive any money due to lack of program funding. So you would be in the second reach out phase. And again, two cases for you, 1K per employee, or if you are in the targeted EIDL advance, then the full 10K. If you meet the requirements. But as I mentioned already, please do not submit duplicate COVID EIDL applications. Only prior applicants will be considered. The SBA will reach out to you if you qualify. But I think they will change this with the new SBA director when she officially becomes in charge. I'm going to talk about that and why. But what I was about to say on the app here is we are going to have a new EIDL grant feature that will show you how much progress is being made, how much money has been allocated. Basically, we have a pot of $40 billion that's going to be distributed, okay? The SBA has said we are going to tier it, basically, to help people who need it the most. They have a limited amount of funding, but our app will show how much funding is left based on our self-reported data. So you have an idea, look, is there going to be money left over for me or not? And what percentage of people qualify for the low-income grant? We're also going to show that on the tracker as well. So feel free to get that. I'll leave link in the descriptions. Vaccination progress, there has been more. Almost 5% of people have received at least one dose. So that's looking good. I'm really happy to see this number move. It hadn't moved in a few days until a couple days ago. So progress is being made there. Finally, we looked at data, who's applied for the PPP so far. So here's the survey results. We conducted the survey. We had several hundred people reply in the first couple hours, and this is the data based on that. Let me pull up the big screen here. Okay, so here's the data. Basically, 51% of people have already applied for a PPP loan. Again, you can go to trackpploan.com to go to one of our preferred lenders. 21% said they will apply for a PPP soon. 27% plan to apply, but they're unsure if they qualify. So again, almost 30% of you are wondering, gosh, I really want to apply for this grant, but I'm not sure if I qualify. Well, most of you will qualify if you have side income. Only 1% said they are not planning to apply for a PPP loan. So this just goes to show my theory has always been, gosh, combine the EIDL grant and PPP loan. And that's why I put together this calculator so you could see what you're eligible for. This is at helloskip.com/stimulus. And in a few seconds, you can see what you are actually eligible for. So here it goes, looks like this. And you can see the programs, okay, maybe PPP, EIDL grant, EIDL loan. So there you go. Now, here's what we've seen so far in PPP turnaround. Some of you have already gotten back and already got the money in your bank account. The average waiting time we hear will be around a week during this week. I mean, this is the busiest week for PPP applications. Everyone tries to get in early. So like Blue Vine, Credibly, Funding Circle, they're all our partners. They've all said around a week if you're approved. Again, they try to set expectations. In some cases, they've told you the next day or in a couple days. Stay tuned there, but I'm optimistic that if you haven't heard back yet, you will soon. And if you haven't applied, we have our links to our lenders in the description. Since I mentioned the positive vaccine news, that things are moving slow and steady, but they're moving, I will mention some positive case news. It's going down a little bit, and of course, Biden is encouraging 100 days of masking, that everyone mask. But the average daily case count is going down from its peak beginning of January, so that is a good sign. Hospitalizations also has been going down. Hospitalizations is the really big number. Many hospitals in California were overrun. So they're positive signs, especially with the vaccination rate, something to be optimistic about. Here's the other thing to be optimistic about before I end. Isabel Guzman, the SBA administrator that Biden picked to navigate, quote, a crossroads moment for small businesses. It's true. This is a crossroads moment. I mean, she has a good track record of really helping small businesses and sole proprietors. Here's what I imagine. Here's what I imagine will happen when she takes over the reins and she becomes in charge of the EIDL and PPP programs. The SBA has said that they will tier the targeted EIDL advance first, and they are doing this because they want to make sure that they don't run out of funds for the people who really need it. That's the hierarchy. However, I predict that there will still be funding left over when all this is said and done. We are talking about $40 billion. The first bucket only had $20 billion. The data that we saw on our EIDL tracker showed that around 2/3 of people, maybe a little bit more, received some type of grant. So that's a good chunk of people that were already helped. So we're not talking about that many people that were left out. I mean, it's millions, but it's in the grand scheme of things, it's not as big as the people who were approved. So when you look at that and you consider, well, maybe 30% to 40% of people can top up because they're in a low-income community, that's a little bit of money there. And then if you look at these 1/3 of people that didn't receive anything, maybe the majority of them can only get the $1K per employee, and some of them can get the full $10K. Again, I think there's still going to be money left over. I don't think we will know until probably end of February when they've allocated these existing people who are in the queue. But I think after that, they will then say, hey guys, by the way, we still have $20 billion. Maybe that's the amount. You can now apply for new EIDL grants if you need it. And maybe there will be some new provisions there, TBD. But that's my prediction, especially with the new lead of the SBA. What do you guys think? Let us know in the comments. And stay tuned for more updates, especially on rental assistance and other funding programs. As always, stay well, stay healthy, and we'll see you soon.